Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Yes, Santa Claus is coming to town. And I know for a fact that one of Santa Claus's very special treats is shortbread cookies. How do I know? Because when I put them on a plate for Santa, those ones are all gone. So today we're going to bake shortbread cookies, and I'm going to share with you a recipe that my mom baked for years and I've continued to do it. So let's get going. Okay, so the first recipe I'd like to share with you, my mom called them cherry snowballs, and it is a shortbread cookie, but what it is, it wraps a candied cherry in the shortbread dough. So let's get started, okay? So I'm using my food processor as usual. My mom had an old Sunbeam Mix Master, and I can still see her churning that black knob at the side, and boy, did it rattle. But it worked for her, and I think if she was here today, she would love to have a food processor like I have. So let's get going. Now, as all shortbread cookies, we need butter. And don't forget, the best for shortbread cookies is to leave your butter out overnight. Yes, you can melt it in the microwave, but there's something about leaving it overnight that makes that shortbread crunchy and flaky like you want it. So in my food processor, I'm going to put in 1 cup of butter. Cream that butter till the butter is almost white. To that, I'm adding a 1/2 cup of icing sugar. To that, 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Shortbread cookies are all basically the same. Just butter, flour, sugar, and then added like vanilla and salt. So I'm going to cream that together. I am going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. A 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now, to these I'm adding a cup of ground almonds. Now, I ground these almonds myself in, I have a coffee grinder that's used just for nuts and stuff. So I'm going to add 1 cup of that. You can buy these from the bulk barn, but and I leave these, you can, if you want less chunky almonds, then process them a little bit more. I like that little bit of texture in these kind of cookies. So I'm going to add that to my food processor. Shortbread cookies are probably one of the easiest cookies to make because it's so basic in what the ingredients. Okay, there's my dough. It's nice and soft and moist. And then what I have is glazed red and green cherries. So this is what I do. Take a little bit of your dough, pick a cherry, and roll it. That's it. This is great. My grandkids have done this. Easy to roll, get their fingers in it, licking, getting sticky from the cherries. Now, you could use maraschino cherries, but you need to dry them really, really well. Get most of the moisture out of there because it'll make your shortbread cookies not as crisp as you'd like it. I will alternate this on my pan of red and green cherries. Now you can watch me work away at this as I speed up the camera. Okay, there's my cookies. As before, parchment paper has saved my life. There is no cleanup. You just, when you're done your cookies, just roll them up and throw them away. But for shortbread cookies, you can use them over and over again. Okay, so I've preheated my oven to 325, and I'm going to pop these in the oven for about 25 minutes till they start to go brown. While I'm waiting for them to bake, I have a question for you. Do you have a recipe that you use every year because your mom or your aunt or your grandma used to make them? I know one of my daughter-in-laws, her grandma loved Empire cookies, and she makes them every year. She just has to make them. Even though they're a lot of work, there's something in her that she's just got to make it. So I'd like to know if there's anything that you make that is a memory. I don't know. I guess I have too many memories. I guess the older you get, but those things that you do year after year, you're compelled to do them. I'd sure like to know what they are. So let's wait for them to bake. And in the meantime, we're going to try another shortbread cookie. Okay, there's my snowball cookies. They've just come out of the oven, and you can see that they're nicely golden brown. Gonna let them cool a little bit, but not completely cold. I want them to be warm, because now what I'm going to do is take these cookies, and I've got white granulated sugar, and I'm rolling them in that. So you can see that. So I'm just gonna roll them all in there. Doesn't take long for them to cool off. And when they're on the plate and the sugar sort of sticks to that warm dough, and they actually look like little tiny snowballs. So I'm gonna do that with the rest of them. Okay, the next cookie I'm gonna make, I don't know, maybe you know this, maybe you've done this, but maybe you need to be reminded. There is a recipe that has some cornstarch in the shortbread cookie, and that's the recipe I'm going to use today. So what I have in my food processor is 3/4 of a cup butter, and I'm going to cream that as usual till it's white. A 1/2 cup of icing sugar. A 1/2 cup of cornstarch. A teaspoon of vanilla, just a quarter teaspoon, not a cup, of salt, and 2 cups of all-purpose flour. These cornstarch shortbread cookies, I just rolled them in balls and flattened them, and put sprinkles on top, and put them in the oven for 325, and they bake for about 15 to 20 minutes. So a good different kind of a shortbread cookie. Okay, everyone, I can't wait. I have to try these cookies before Santa Claus comes. And here's my cherry balls. And you know the best part about this? I'm gonna guess what color cherry is inside of this. Is it red or green? I think I'm gonna guess green. I was right. These are so good. These melt in your mouth. Delicious. I got to try one more. The one with sprinkles. You can put anything on top. Cherries, score bits. You can let your imagination go wild. Let's see if they crunch. Delicious. Well, Santa Claus, I won't eat them all. I'll save some for you. Shortbread cookies, one of your favorites. Please give these recipes a try and let me know if you tried them. And be sure to check out any of my other recipes, baking memories that will last forever. God bless. Bye-bye.